What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video I wanted to do a season 1 recap of Stargirl. Their season finale was I think 3 days ago as of me filming this video, so I just wanted to put this out a little bit more bare bones, not so much edits, just so we can get it out there and see what people think. But yeah, I'm going to try to rank this season based off of like my rankings on the other videos that I've done, like my other DC TV ranking and the Marvel ranking. So yeah, we'll just get the ball rolling and then I'll see what you guys think in the comments. So initially, my initial hype for this, on a scale of like 1 to 5, I'd say it was probably like around the 3. I didn't really know too much about the characters, and I wasn't quite motivated to see this show considering it's not part of the other DC TV shows like Flash, Arrow, or Supergirl. So for hype, I'd say probably like a middle ground 3 out of 5. After seeing this entire season, I'd say the rewatchability is probably like at a 1. Pretty low considering, you know, there wasn't much that this season did for me. I wasn't like overly excited for each new episode. I thought the storyline was okay, mediocre, but yeah, this isn't one of the shows that I'd go back and rewatch. Like for example, if my fiance wanted to start watching this show, or my little brother wanted to start watching this show, they got it on their own. I'm not gonna be there for it. Yeah, and actually, like now I think about it, the only show that I ever rewatched was The Flash. I remember when season 1 came out, I watched the whole season, and then when season 2 was coming out, I rewatched season 1, and then when season 3 came out, I rewatched season 1 and season 2. So that was, I mean, that's just kind of like the premise of like how I enjoyed watching that show a lot, and I don't feel the same for Stargirl. Moving down was the DCU or DC TV significance, and considering it's not part of the other DC TV shows, I'd say it's probably like a 2 out of 5. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. It doesn't connect to the other shows, like I said, at least not yet. They could do like some multiversal or, you know, infinite Earths event kind of deal where they cross over with the other guys like Flash or Supergirl, but as of right now it's pretty self-contained, and I don't think that there's going to get any spin-off shows for it. So yeah, only a 2 out of 5 for that. For character development, I scored this one at a 3 out of 5. I thought there was okay storyline between the characters, but specifically I only gave it a 3 instead of a 2 because of the relationship between Stargirl, Courtney, and her stepdad Pat. Just because like their relationship grew more as like a partnership, and you know they eventually like established a really good relationship between each other that I felt was pretty strong in comparison to everybody else. All the other characters were pretty linear in terms of their character development. They didn't really change. I wasn't impressed with anybody else's storyline through the season. All the villains and all the silent characters, nothing really. But moving down to villains is like my main thing. If you guys watch my videos or you know anything about me, I'm a big fan of the villain. If the villain is strong, I believe it'll carry the show really well. And for this one, I thought it was just like middle ground, 3 out of 5. The main villain being Icicle, and the overarching villain being the entire Injustice Society. I thought it was cool because it's not like a traditional TV show where you have your one superhero like the Flash and then the one villain like Reverse Flash or Zoom or whatever. You have like your superhero team against your evil superhero team or whatever, and or your villain team. So I thought that was pretty cool how they had more than one character. But yeah, there just wasn't much to the villains. They didn't seem like very evil super villains like that. They just seemed like they were kind of mediocre. I thought it was cool that they introduced Solomon Grundy, considering we've never seen him on live action with the exception of Gotham. But when they showed him on Gotham, he was just like literally just like a regular human being. He wasn't like this giant beast like he normally is, like in the Arkham games or in the comics. But that being said, I do think his CGI needs some work. I think it was like a little it just wasn't done too well. At least, I think if this season does really well, they get a better budget for next season, they can do better on the CGI. Moving down, I have costume designs for this show. I thought the costumes were actually like pretty decent. I thought it was like, I ranked it a 4 out of 5. I thought Stargirl's costume was pretty good. It was very comic book accurate. And I also liked Our Man's costume. I thought they were probably like the best costumes of the season. I didn't really care too much about Dr. Midnight. Essentially, it's like a girl who literally just walks around wearing glasses. And then the other one was Wildcat, which she literally just has like a black costume with a mask on, and then she, can fight and shit. But for the villains, I liked Icicle's costume. I thought the special effects for him were really nice, and I also like Dragon King's. So overall, I gave it a 4 out of 5 for the costumes. Going down to the storyline, I thought it was, like I said a little earlier, it was like a pretty mediocre storyline. I only gave it a 3 out of 5. It was nothing crazy, no plot twists or anything like that. I think the biggest shock was when one of the teenagers was killed by his own father because he ended up choosing the side of the good guys when his dad was the bad guy, and it was like conflicting. But we don't know too much about the character. Like, there wasn't enough character development for us to actually like feel some sense of like emotion when he died. Like for me, when he died, I really didn't care. And then you also don't really learn about the character or the villain's like true plan or like their evil plan for the season until the season finale. And honestly, it wasn't even like that crazy of a plan. They were essentially going to use some guy's mind control power to manipulate like half of the United States into changing the way they believe about like certain political things, like global warming and like universal healthcare and shit like that. And unfortunately, some people would die along the way. But it wasn't like they were gonna brainwash everybody and then make them slaves and all this. Like, to me, it just wasn't a strong storyline. And then now, just to finish it off, I'm gonna get over into the successes and the failures of the show. I thought it was pretty successful in the sense that it wasn't a 22 episode season like the other shows like Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl. All those shows, it's like, I think it's like 20 to 22 episodes for most of them, and it kind of brings them down because there's so much time that they just put in a bunch of fillers. There's a lot of filler episodes, like 2 or 3 filler episodes, whereas when you have a smaller season, I think you could get straight to the point and you don't have to worry about, oh, we have 6 more episodes to try to make out, let's just throw in some random shit. So I thought that was pretty good. It wasn't an overly long stretched out season, and that was one thing that I really liked about it. Moving down to failures, it's almost kind of like the same thing. Because it was so short of a season, they didn't get a chance to do like some of the things that I liked along the way. I don't think they needed to do like a 22 episode season. They could have probably done like maybe 2 or 3 more episodes to get up to like maybe 15 or 16. Like for me, I really like the training montages, like when the superheroes finally learn their powers and they're trying to practice like on like training, like the way Arrow does it in his little Arrow cave with Diggle and all the other Team Arrow, or Flash and how he's like training at Star Labs and all that. Like, I enjoy the superhero training aspect because you see how they like learn new skills, they learn how they can use them against different situations, and they just become a better superhero. And in this show, I guess they didn't really do it. Courtney, the main character, she basically becomes Stargirl, and then she finds like all the costumes and the gadgets and stuff from the previous Justice League members or Justice Society members, and she just hands it out to people who sit with her in her lunchroom or like at her lunch table. She's like, okay, you get a costume, you get a costume, you get a costume, and there's literally like no training involved, there's no connection, and I just felt like it was rushed into building the team considering they only had 13 episodes. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent show. If I were to add it into my ranking based off my other videos, I'd probably put it like in between my number 7 and number 8 spot. number 7 being Krypton, and number 8 being Batwoman. I like this season better than, or I like season 1 of Stargirl better than I did like season 1 of Batgirl, because you just get more characters that you get to learn about, and I think there's better potential. And on top of that, the main character of Batgirl, she's basically dipping. She's like, yeah, you know what, I'm not gonna be back for season 2. So they already recasted her, and it's like the continuity errors and all that shit. Like, I just can't let that slide. So, yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent season. I think it's an easy watch for somebody who doesn't know much about the comics. They do a pretty good job at kind of describing who each character is, but I think definitely season 2 needs to work on better storyline and potentially a stronger like villain storyline, especially considering how weak I thought this season was. But yeah, that was it, guys. Just let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what your favorite parts of the season was, what you're excited for season 2, and yeah, we'll keep it coming. Thank you, guys.